Hey guys, it's GameFace here and welcome back to episode 8 of my Leeds United career mode. Now in today's episode we've got 3 more league games to play, the first of which is against Darby, followed by a game against Wigan about 3 or 4 days later, and then a game against Wolves. So 3 matches in the league all to play. We're currently in 6th position, so just inside the playoff positions on 19 points, and as we can see from the league table, we are at the moment 7 points behind top, which is obviously Newcastle, and Aston Villa are in 2nd. So we're not doing too badly at the moment. Obviously the aim is to try and get promoted, most likely through the playoffs, but obviously any other way would be great. Before we get into this episode, if we could go ahead and hit 25 likes on this video, that'd be really appreciated. Also, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic. I would really appreciate it if you could go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And yeah, let's crack on with the game against Darby. This is the team I'm going to go with. Green starts in goal, Eiling at right back, Janssen at Batley at centre back, Taylor at left back, with Bridcut and O'Kane in midfield. Then we've got Barrow on the right hand side, Dallas starting on the left today, with Hernandez in behind Fletcher, who we've got up front. So we're going to go with that. We've got Chris Wood on the bench, Antonsen, Roof on the bench. I think we've also got Danny Gugara and Smith, Berardi on there as well as Sacco, I think. So yeah, we've got quite a decent bench, very attacking bench on there, only one defender, so hopefully we won't need another centre back. But yeah, let's crack on with the game against Darby, try and get ourselves to 3 points, and maybe move us up the league table. Here we go, it's a tough away match this one. I'm expecting a very difficult game here against Darby. They're obviously one of the better teams in the league. I don't think this season, though, in real life, have done as well as they usually have in the last few seasons. I think they're towards the bottom end of the table, I believe. So I think still, though, this side is a very good team. We've got to be careful that we don't concede too many goals. Ideally, keep a clean sheet. But let's wait and see how he gets on. I need a good performance from Barrow, who's already trying to get running behind into space here. Need to remember he's left-footed. Can he take the strike on his left? He has done, but it's a good save by Scott Carson out for a corner. Brilliant break from us there and a good start to this match. We'll go with, I think, just the ball straight in here from Pablo Hernandez. Try and pick out Janssen or one of the other centre-backs possibly. It gets punched away by Scott Carson. Barrow again going to look to cross it in, and it's ended up finding Hernandez again, who will put in a better cross into a better area anyway. Didn't quite pick out any of our players. We're just being put under a little bit of pressure here by Darby. They're having a good spell of possession around the edge of our box. We need to try and clear our lines a little bit, try and get the ball up into Fletcher up front, who's not had much of a touch, if any touch, to be honest, since this game started. So we've had a good start at the first 5 or 10 minutes, but since then Darby have been on top. Good chance for them, a decent block in the end from Cal Bartley. Now a chance to break if we've got enough going forward. O'Kane looking to pick out Dallas. O'Kane already booked just a few minutes in. Going to have to try and pick out Barrow, maybe another switch, but that's offside apparently. And that is it for the first half. Still drawing the game 0-0. Not loads of clear-cut opportunities for us in that first half. Probably the best chance being the one that Barrow had on target in the first minute, which is the only one that we've had. So, yeah, disappointing, but we'll obviously take the first half performance. I actually think we did just about edge it, to be honest, especially at the start and the end of that half. In the middle, though, we weren't as great. But I think if we keep playing the same way, we'll get a chance eventually. But it's not been the greatest performance from either side, to be honest, during this game. Kind of cancelled each other out so far. Fletcher, great start here onto Pablo Hernandez, and it's 1-0. What a finish that is from Pablo Hernandez. Just as he gets fouled in the box, he manages to smash one in the top corner. And we are winning the game 1-0, virtually straight from kickoff here. I don't know why he's the captain, but for some reason he is for today's game. And he has smashed it home against Darby. Fantastic finish. Lovely bit of build-up play here. O'Kane just trying to find the space for Fletcher. He finds a brilliant pass to Hernandez and just side foots it into the top corner. And we are winning the game 1-0. Good chance for Darby to equalise and a fantastic save from Green. He managed to just about beat that one away out for a corner. They have responded straight away here, Darby. We need to be careful because they do have some decent players in and around that box. They've also got Sam Vokes that they've signed, and he's had their only shot of the game so far. More than that, we've just seen that Rob Green saved. So yeah, we just need to defend, I think, for the next 5 or 10 minutes. Make sure they don't respond straight away. And that's exactly what they've done. Just a few minutes after we scored, they've equalised, and it's now 1-1. Okay, first 2 changes. We'll bring Smith and Roof on. O'Kane and Stuart Dallas will come off. We'll move Barrow onto the left-hand side as well, than being left-footed. I think the third and final change will come pretty swiftly, so watch out for that one. It'll probably be, I think, Chris Wood that comes on, and we might well take off Hernandez, I think, just to give us a little bit more of a height going forward. Height threat going forward if we can. On the counter-attack here, though, with Fletcher. Might well get a strike partner soon if we can't find ourselves a goal here. Fletcher running through on goal, gets caught up, but still going. Fletcher on his left foot, and it's gone in. What a fantastic strike that is. On his left foot, Scott Carson couldn't save it. And we are winning the game 2-1, back in the lead. Fantastic strike from Fletcher. And yeah, we might not actually need Chris Wood now. We might look to just see out the rest of this game and not concede 10 minutes later like we did before. Rather than bring on Chris Wood, what we'll do is bring on Danny Guerra and take off Hernandez. No need to bring on another striker at this stage when you're winning the game 2-1. So we'll do that, add some more height into the midfield, and maybe try and get ourselves a goal here if we can. Roof's in there, and doesn't quite connect with the header very well. That is it. We've won the game 2-1. Fantastic result for us against Darby. Good away victory for us and an extra 3 points to add onto our current tally. We'll wait and see where that puts us in the league table. Hopefully moves us up from 6th position, but we'll wait and see based on the other results that have happened, obviously, around the country. And yeah, let's have a look at the table now. Okay, so we've moved up to 5th position, ahead of QPR, but we are still the same amount of goals, the same amount of points as QPR, but we have just got a high goal difference by the looks of it. Just in behind Norwich there by a point, Wolves an extra point in front of us, obviously 2 in total, along with Aston Villa as well. So we are slowly catching them up. There's not much between the top few teams. Obviously Newcastle are 5 points ahead of 2nd place, but other than that, the next sort of, 7, 8 teams are all pretty close to each other, within like 4 points of each other. So it is quite tight at the top. Hopefully, though, we can get another win against Wigan and put more pressure on Newcastle and obviously Aston Villa as well. We'll do some play drills, though, before then. I think we'll go with the exact same 5 drills here. No need to change them this week. I think I did change them in the last episode, so we won't do them this time round. We've got Peacock Farrell going up to 68 overall, really making a case to be my second choice keeper ahead of Silvestri, although it's likely that when Rob Green goes, at some point, we'll probably have Silvestri or Peacock Farrell as my number 1, and obviously the other one of the 2 will be their second choice keeper. Ideally, though, I obviously want Peacock Farrell in this starting 11, so it might well be that he is my number 1 keeper once Rob Green leaves. Alright, on to the next game against Wigan. This is the side I've gone with. Bailey Peacock Farrell does start for us in this game, 68 overall. I wasn't originally going to start because Green is fine to play, but I thought, why not? He's actually not that much different to Rob Green. Obviously, 6 overall is different, but he's not drastically different to him. He's not really, really poor. It's not like he's 50-odd overall. He is still 68. He's 19 years old. Loads of growth in him, potentially. So we'll wait and see how he gets on in today's game. Berardi will start at right back, Kyle Bartley and Cooper at centre back, with Denton as my left back, Vieira and Smith in midfield, Roof on the left hand side, Saka on the right with Grimes just in behind, and Antonsen, who we've got up front. Chris Wood again remaining on the bench for us. He'll hopefully come on this time round, though obviously wasn't really needed in that last match. Let's try and get ourselves the 3 points though this time at home, and again try and put some pressure on those top 5 teams, or top 4 teams that we've got in front of us. So let's wait and see how he gets on. Hopefully, like I say, beat Wigan if we can. Alright, here we go. Big home match for us. Not too sure where Wigan are in the league. Obviously newly promoted, I believe, from League 1 in real life. So we'll wait and see what sort of side they've got. Maybe they're playing Will Griggs, maybe they're not. We'll have to wait and see as the game goes on, obviously. But I'm hoping that we can pretty much beat Wigan quite comfortably here, I would imagine. But obviously it depends on our performance in this game. Matt Grimes going to look to switch it out to Vieira, who's found himself on the left-hand side. He's going to need someone to try and pick out in the box if he can. It's towards Saka at the back post, but can't quite reach him. Not a bad chance for us. Probably the only real chance we've had of this first half so far. And that's an injury for Sacco for jumping in the air. Okay, so we're going to have to make a change by the looks of it. Much earlier than expected. Maybe do something a little bit different with the side. Let's quickly change things around. I'll be back once I've finished. Okay, slightly different change here. We could have done the easier thing and brought on Barrow, but I've decided to bring on Charlie Taylor at left mid. Roof will move on to the right-hand side as Sacco goes off. So we'll wait and see how that works out. I was reluctant to put Alex Mott on the left-hand side because he's not particularly fast. But as you can see here, Sacco is going to be out for some time with an injury from jumping in the air. So, yeah, I don't know how long he'll be out for, but we'll wait and find out after this game. But yeah, we'll hopefully do okay with Charlie Taylor as a left mid. I'm hoping that's going to be alright. Oh, no, that is poor. That is very, very poor. Didn't clear it well enough. Maybe you could blame the keeper. Maybe you could blame the defending as in the whole, to be honest. Yeah, as a whole, that was not great. Bailey Peacock Farrell maybe should have done better, but then the clearance after that's just got to be away from goal. And it's not. It's fallen for, I think, is that Powell, did it say? Who's just put it home. And that is Nick Powell with the first goal of the game, 1-0. Charlie Taylor looking for the pass to Antonsen. Nearly found Charlie Taylor again, but we've still got it here. Looking for Vieira. It's a great move. Just couldn't finish it off. Always delays my shots every single time I try and shoot. And that is it for the first half. Still losing the game 1-0. We've conceded a little bit too often so far in this episode, which isn't great. We were very unlucky though with the way that we conceded. We'll keep things the same. We're getting somewhere, but a bit slower than I would like to really. So we might have to make a change pretty quickly on early on if it doesn't work for us in the second half. Anderson with the chance. Oh, he smashed it home. What a chance that is. He's taken it as well, straight off the bar and into the back of the net. Fantastic finish from him. Loads of power behind it. Aimed for the top corner and pretty much found it. A very quick move from a throwing, I think it was here. A little bit unexpected the way that the chance cropped up here for Anderson. But we certainly took it. It's just a simple throw in, a little 1-2 here. A good bit of passing inside. It falls nicely for Anderson and he smashes it home and we're drawing the game 1-1. Anderson again looking to get forward if he can. He's going to shoot here. Anderson off the bar again. This time doesn't find the back of the net. And a great chance for him to score. Would have been a hell of a goal from such a range. But sadly stays out this time. Okay, so the final two changes that we can make, Chris Wood and Calvin Phillips will both come on. We'll take off Grimes and Vieira, both getting very tired. And we'll keep Smith in there alongside Phillips. That means Anderson moves in behind Chris Wood, gives us a little bit more height going forward, obviously. 30 minutes to go, and we're looking to try and get ourselves another goal if we can. Roof needs to try and get in a ball to try and find Chris Wood if he can. It's on his left foot, it's in for Anderson though. Can't quite reach it, there's 10 minutes to go. Not looking particularly likely to get ourselves another goal. We've actually looked less threatening as we've made those changes. Maybe we should have kept things the same, but I'm sure freshening up the team will have helped somehow. Anderson, maybe the final chance for us here. Lacking the little bit of pace that we need. Onto Chris Wood. Trying to get a shot away with him. Wouldn't happen, and we've drawn the game 1-1. Disappointing to have dropped 2 points there against Wigan. Really wanted to try and get ourselves 3 points if we could, to keep up the pressure, obviously, on the 4 teams in front of us. But a point we'll have to do, I suppose. It was a difficult game in the end, but we'll wait and see where that leaves us in the league. So that leaves us in 5th position still, but we are now 2 points behind Aston Villa and 3 points behind Norwich, 4 points behind Wolves. So it has made a little bit of a difference, but we do have Wolves coming up. So if we beat them, then obviously we manage to gain some points on Wolves. That game is in just 3 days' time. It's a Friday night match. And obviously we don't have too much time to recover, so it's going to be a little bit of a changed team, I'd imagine, in some places, but then it also allows us to bring in those players that were rested for that last match, so it might even be a little bit stronger than the last team that we've just seen. But Saka is out for 3 months with a broken ankle after jumping in the air and presumably landing awkwardly or something, but 3 months for jumping in the air, come on Sacco. It's a long injury. Luckily we brought in Barrow, otherwise we would be in a little bit of a difficult position. Also, we've got Charlie Taylor who can play out wide. We've seen in that last match. He actually played very well out wide there. One of the better players on the pitch throughout the game. So we do have other options, but obviously we are going to have to change this team round. So we'll be back once I've done that. Okay, this is the team that I've gone with for the next game against Wolves. We've got Green starting in goal again. We've got Eiling starting at right back. Janssen and Bartley at centre back with Berardi playing to left back in this game. Bridcut and O'Kane in midfield in front of them. Barrow on the right-hand side. Dallas on the left with Hernandez just in behind Fletcher. So not too different to what we've seen before in previous games. On the bench, though, it's a little bit different. 3 strikers on there. 3 pretty tall strikers, other than Anderson, who's not really tall, but obviously got Dakara and Wood, who are quite strong strikers. We've also obviously got Coyle in there as well, who can play out wide if we need him to as a right mid at some stage. Alex Mott hopefully will get a bit of a game in this match after not playing in quite a while. So let's go on with the game against Wolves, try and beat them, try and close the gap on them, I suppose, which is currently 4 points down to 1. We can't really afford to drop too many more points in the same way that we did against Wigan, so we need to get ourselves off to a better start here, try and get ourselves an early goal if we can, but obviously this is Wolves, they are doing very well. I think they were second in the league, so it's not going to be an easy game whatsoever this match. They've got some very talented players as well, got some very rich owners I believe, so they signed some big names, or some big young names in the summer, and that's a very early chance for them. Good save from Rob Green who put it onto the post. Can't have too many more attacks like that from them. Good attack for Wolves here. Oh, it's deflected onto the bar. What a strike that was, but I think it was brought closer to the goal by the huge deflection from the Leeds player. So close there. Wolves having 2 good opportunities so far in the first 20 minutes of this game, but we're just struggling to get into it quite as well as they are. We haven't really had too many chances ourselves just yet. Oh, falls for Fletcher. Great chance. Fletcher 1-0. Little bit of luck there as it just deflects off the defender into the path of Fletcher. Little undeserved as well, probably our only chance really of this first half so far. We need that little bit of luck, huge deflection, and falls kindly there for Fletcher, who smashes it into the back of the net, certainly taking our only chance of the game, and we've managed to score it 1-0. That is it for the first half, still winning the game 1-0. Not a bad first half for us, a little bit lucky with the way that the goal came about, but obviously take that victory going into the second half at the moment. Obviously, I imagine Wolves are going to have plenty of chances in the second half. They've had more shots than that one. I don't know why it's only said one. They've certainly had 2 or 3 at least. So we'll wait and see how the second half goes. We'll keep the team the same though. No changes just yet, but I'm pretty sure they'll come around the 60th minute as usual. No way. 1-1. How can you allow marking like that to happen in the box? That is really poor. Just managed to get the ball out wide. Bartley can't stop it. He's been dragged all over the place. Eiling's just falling over. And it's an easy finish in the end past Rob Green. 1-1. We've really conceded too many goals in this episode. We've actually conceded 1 goal in every game so far, which is unlike us not to keep any clean sheets in the whole episode. Fletcher there looking to try and get us back in front. It's a decent strike. Couldn't quite be saved. So he has to parry it out. So we've got Bartley looking to get on the end of this corner. But again, cleared. Okay, first 2 changes. Alex Mort and Coyle will come on. That means we're going to take off Dallas and Hernandez, both of which getting quite tired. Barrow will move on to the left-hand side as well. I think we're kind of preparing a little bit here for Chris Wood to come on, with the fact that we've got a left footer on the left-hand side and a right footer on the right-hand side to cross in. So we'll just prepare ourselves when that happens, but for now, obviously, we've got Fletcher in the middle, who'll obviously do a decent job for us. Hopefully that improves us a little bit. 30 minutes to go, we need another goal. We can't afford to have another draw like the Wigan game. Alex Mort looking for a cross in. Looking for Fletcher, but okay, he'll pull it back for the free kick. I think what we'll do now is bring on Chris Wood. I think what we'll do, though, is take off Bridcut rather than taking off Fletcher, just so we've got 2 taller players in there. So let's take the free kick, hopefully get ourselves a goal. It's going to be with Alex Mowat. Try and pick out the penalty spot, maybe. Is it a decent delivery? It's not bad. Jansen's in there, just couldn't quite reach it. Surrounded by Wolves players. Fletcher looking for Barrow. He's running through. Barrow with the chance, and it's 2-1. We've managed to get the goal that we needed. 2 minutes to go. I thought it was just going to finish 1-1, exactly like the Wigan game, but it's not. We've managed to get a late winner. Okay, never seen that celebration before, but I like it. I like it a lot. Barrow there with a late goal for us, starting to pay back the money that we've paid for him now. I think that might be his first goal for us. Certainly not scored loads. But that's a very important one to get the 3 points. Wasn't too sure whether we would get the penalty there or not. But managed to just about stand up from that challenge. Smashes it home, and it's 2-1 past Lonergan as well. Makes it even better late on. That is it. We've won the game 2-1. Fantastic 3 points for us to get so late on in the game against such a big rival in terms of where we are in the table. Because obviously they were second. They might still be second, but we've managed to catch them up by 3 points, which is great for us. We'll wait and see where that leaves us in the table at the end of this episode. Obviously started, I think the episode was in 6th position or something. Hopefully get a move up to maybe 4th or something like that, depending on the other results that have happened over the weekend. So where are we currently in the league? We're up to 4th, so that's good, but obviously Preston and Aston Villa with games in hand. Preston obviously won't affect us at all, but Aston Villa, if they win, they'll go above us, but it depends on that result. So we'll wait and see how that pans out. We've obviously got some games to see how they go across the weekend to then fully determine where we are in the league. We'll quickly have a look at this. Pablo Hernandez wants to speak to me about something. He just doesn't like England. I'm struggling with the language, hate the food, hate the culture, and I'll never be able to settle here. So even though everyone at the club's been kind to me, I think it's best if I get away as soon as possible. Wow, that's a little bit frustrating because he signed a new contract with us recently to prevent this sort of thing from happening, and he signed the contract and now is asking to leave. So not good news. Got Taylor who wants to leave and Hernandez who wants to leave as well. So we'll have to look at trying to get in some new recruits in January. But for now, we'll focus on the team and trying to get the 3 points after every game. Leave your suggestions for new centre attacking mids that we're going to have to try and get in at some stage. Probably in January, I'd imagine, if that is when he goes. But yeah, I'd be interested to see what sort of centre attacking mids we can get in from the Championship and in and around the Championship, that sort of thing. But I'm just a little bit disappointed that he wants to leave us now. Before we get into things, Daniel Gara saying, thanks boss for playing him so often. Been trying to get him into the team as much as possible. Obviously he's not been playing much in real life, but I do quite like him in game, so he's playing for us. We finished the episode in 5th position, so we've managed to move up 1 position since the start of the episode. Now 2 points in front of Wigan, and that is everything for the episode. Thank you all so much for watching. If we could go ahead and hit 25 likes on this video, that'd be really appreciated. Also, if you haven't already, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button as well. That'd be absolutely fantastic. I'd really really appreciate you hitting the subscribe button, and if you do go ahead and do it, let me know in the comments below as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.